What's up, Bears fans? You're watching Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham, and on today's show, we're going to hit you guys with another Bears mock draft. Now, we've done a weekly mock draft for about 2.5 months now, going on 3 months, and I said we could do a mock draft every single week leading up to the draft, but I want to know from you guys. Maybe you're getting tired of the mocks. I don't know. It's really up to you. Do you still want weekly mock drafts, at least one per week? If you do, like this video. If you don't, tell me in the comments why you don't. And if a lot of people don't like the video, and if we get a lot of comments of, I'm getting bored of these, and that's fine. We'll switch up the content strategy, potentially. But if you still want weekly mocks, hit that like button. It seems like you guys are enjoying them. Just thought I would get kind of a pulse of where Bears fans are at right now. All right, let's get this mock started. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Trade alert. Yeah, why even do a mock draft for the Bears these days if you're picking at number 1? The Las Vegas Raiders came calling as we used the PFN mock simulator. They offer the number 7 pick, number 38, and number 70 as well, plus a first and a second next year. Pretty good package, if we're being honest, to move down from 1 to 7. And if you're moving outside the top 5, it's going to take something like that. It's going to take a big trade offer. So I went ahead and accepted that. And you know what? I didn't love the board at 7, and Tennessee came calling, so I traded again. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Moving down to number 11, picked up their second-round pick as well, number 41, and a first next year. Sign me up. So to go down from 1st to 11th, I've picked up 2 future first, a future second, and 2 extra seconds this year, and I believe an extra third this year as well. Pretty good deal, if you ask me. All right, so at round 1, pick number 11, I am taking Northwestern's finest. A lot of you guys are familiar with Peter Skoronski, the offensive lineman for Northwestern, who I think he's the most technically sound lineman in this draft. Now, he's not necessarily the biggest or the strongest or have the best measurables. His arms are probably a little shorter than you would like to play tackle, but I still think he can be a tackle in the NFL. Worst case, I think he can be a very good guard. I mean, his PFF grades really throughout his college career, but especially this year, were just unreal. Overall, just under 90. Pass blocking, he's fantastic, and I think the Bears need to improve, especially in pass protection. Their run blocking was okay last year. Good run blocker also. Only allowed 1 sack and only allowed, I believe, 3 hurries. Like, that's that's very good for a college offensive lineman. There's no doubt about it. Now, the question, obviously you naturally ask is, okay, well, where do you play him? He played left tackle at Northwestern. Do you put him there and move Braxton Jones to right tackle? Do you put Peter Skoronski at left guard and maybe cut Cody Whitehair? Do you flip Skoronski to right tackle? I don't know. I think he's versatile enough where he can play tackle or guard. I think you could kind of move him around if you wanted to do so. I mean, ideally, you would want to kind of pick a spot early and be convicted in that decision. But at the same time, Braxton Jones played really well as a rookie. Like, ideally, you keep him at left tackle and build kind of around him. So we'll see. Obviously, Skoronski is a first-round pick compared to Jones, who was a fifth-round pick. But once you get into the same building, it's all the same. It's all about who performs the best. So I think he's versatile enough. You could find a spot for him. And if you want him to play left tackle, well, hopefully Braxton Jones can flip to right tackle and still be effective. Now, who is your favorite offensive lineman in this NFL draft? Because obviously the Bears need to improve their offensive line. Let me know down in the comment section below. Who is your favorite offensive lineman in the 2023 NFL Draft? We'll go ahead and make this the pinned comment on today's video, so if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, go ahead and reply right there. Next up in our mock draft, round 2, pick number 38. It is Boston College wide receiver Zay Flowers, who I like quite a bit. I think Zay Flowers is a fun player. I don't know if he's like a step into the NFL and be a number 1. I don't know if he's ever a number 1. Maybe he is. He's a little undersized, but at Boston College, he put up huge numbers in an offense that had really poor quarterback play throughout his college career. Still had over 1,000 yards and 12 tutties in 2022. Now, is he primarily a slot? Can he play on the outside? Because obviously Darnell Mooney plays a decent amount of slot. He also plays on the outside. I think Claypool will probably strictly be an outside guy next year, occasionally line up in the slot. But Flowers is a nasty route runner. He can put his foot in the ground, change directions really easily, get him the ball in space. He's electric. I think he'll run a sub 4.4 at the NFL Combine. So excited to watch him next week in Indianapolis. But Zay Flowers early day 2 I think is really good value, so I like getting him here at number 38 overall. All right, also at round 2, number 41 overall, that last one came from Vegas. This one comes from Tennessee. Drew Sanders, the linebacker out of Arkansas, who we've taken a couple of times before here on this show with these mock drafts. Really good player this past year for the Razorbacks. Played his first 2 college seasons for Alabama. Wasn't super effective. Transfers to Arkansas, does a little bit of everything, over 100 tackles, 13.5 TFLs, 9.5 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles. He's 6'5", 235. Now, he's not full-blown Micah Parsons. He's going to become one of the best edge rushers in the NFL, but I think on occasion he can put his hand in the dirt if you need him to. I love his versatility. I think he can do a little bit of everything. I think he can play middle linebacker. I think he can play outside linebacker. He has good coverage skills. He can get downhill as a run stopper. So I think he's a plug-and-play starting linebacker, and you really need that because Jack Sanborn was kind of a miraculous find last year as an undrafted free agent for Chicago. I think he'll be one of your starting backers, but Nick Morrow, free agent, Joe Thomas, Matt Adams, all free agents. You at least need one other linebacker in there to start next to Sanborn, and then probably a third guy as well. Maybe re-sign Morrow's a cheap vet or something like that, but Drew Sanders in the second round is a pretty good value pick, if I do say so myself. All right, today's show is sponsored by Cultivate. It's a free browser extension that's going to help you find the best prices when you're shopping with Amazon. Cultivate brings you transparency to your Amazon shopping experience. Cultivate will show you the brand, the seller, or product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money. With over 50% of Amazon-based U.S. sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery from these sellers and keep money in the United States economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are, on average, 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs, such as Amazon Prime. It can even identify local alternatives that you pick up on the same day. Cultivate users earn free donations as rewards for using the extension, and the more you use it, the more you earn in donations by increasing your level. In fact, Cultivate donates 51% of the revenue they make on your purchase. So, what are you waiting for? Go to wecultivate.us/chatsports. That's wecultivate.us/chatsports and download Cultivate for free. Let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping experience. That link is in the description and in the comments of today's video. Find the best prices available and support local options as well. wecultivate.us/chatsports. Keep this Bears mock draft rolling here. Nolan Smith, the edge out of Georgia. Not really sure what his kind of range will be in the draft. I think he could sneak into the first round. He could fall to the third round. Tore his pec in early November for Georgia, so only played in 8 games this year. And look, he's pretty explosive, and he's a good run stopper. He never had tons of production for the Bulldogs, but also had a ton of good players he was playing next to, so he didn't always have to do that as well. You look at his 2 college careers, you'd like the sack numbers to be a little bit higher than they were, but obviously dealt with some injuries, especially here in 2022. But I talked to our draft expert here at Chat Sports, Tom Downey, who will actually be at the NFL Combine. I'll be curious to see if Smith works out in any capacity. Not sure where he's at in his recovery. He said despite only being 235 pounds, he's a good run stopper. So I asked him, I was like, can he play in a 4-3? Is he really more of a 3-4 guy? And he says, no, I think he can. He's a good enough run stopper. So I'll be curious to see where he goes in the draft. And if he's there late round 2, I think the value is good. This is a first-round talent in Nolan Smith. Trade alert, we're trading back again. The New York Jets come calling. I trade 64 to New York for 74 and 112. So drop 10 spots, pick up an extra 4th-round pick. I also have the 70th pick in this draft from Las Vegas, and that is when I take Tyreek Stevenson, the cornerback out of Miami. This is a pretty deep corner class this year. You know, everybody's focusing on the guys that could go in round 1, but Tyreek Stevenson, 6 feet. He's got a 38-inch vertical. We'll see how he tests if he does do the vertical and all that at the Combine, but pretty good ball skills, couple picks, 7 breakups last year. I like the athletic traits, and we know that is something that modern teams, and especially Poles and Eberflus value. They've talked about that. They value really good athletes. Like, they want guys who are obviously smart and good football players, but players who have high ceilings athletically and they can maximize their potential. That's what they are looking for. And look, I don't think we're talking about corner enough as a potential need for this team. Jalen Johnson's a really good player, but he's entering the last year of his rookie deal. I think he's a guy they'll want to extend, but you never know. Kyler Gordon played better down the stretch, but he had, I would say, not the most ideal rookie season. Kindle Vildor played okay at times, but he was injured and, kind of slowed down throughout the season. Is Jalen Jones a starter? I'm not sure. Josh Blackwell, he was a guy that showed a little bit, but I think you need another corner in here opposite of Johnson, and then Kyler Gordon's your nickel. That is how I would approach things, and I think Stevenson has a chance to be a plug-and-play CB2 in the NFL. Subscribe to the channel. Why not, right? What are you risking? Doesn't cost you anything. You only have to click one button. And if you love the Chicago Bears, we're publishing videos on a daily basis. Give us a week. If you don't like what we're doing, then you can unsubscribe. But it helps me out, helps Chat Sports out, helps us grow as a company, and bring you guys more content ultimately. So if you love the Chicago Bears, if you're enjoying today's video, I would encourage you guys to subscribe. We will continue to bring you guys draft coverage and, of course, everything else surrounding this team throughout the offseason. Next up is Warren McClendon after that trade down with the Jets, the Georgia offensive tackle, round 3, number 74. Again, talked to Tom Downey, our draft guy. I said, why is McClendon going like 3rd, 4th round in some of these mocks? Because he started 37 games at right tackle for Georgia, which is an NFL draft factory. I'm thinking, okay, he's experienced, Georgia, 2-time national champion. Why is he not at least a 2nd-round guy, according to most people? Well, what Tom told me, as you look at this depth chart here, and I think McClendon as a right tackle option is a good one. I still think he is, despite what I'm about to tell you. Downey basically said, dude, he might weigh in at like 290 pounds at the combine. Which that's a concern for an NFL offensive tackle. Is he going to have enough upper body strength? Is he going to get pushed around? I mean, Braxton Jones at times struggled with bull rushes. But, if he can get up to 300, 305, maybe he struggles a bit as a rookie, but he is 6'4". Like, he's got a decent frame. You would think he can add on some weight. A lot of experience for a winning organization. I like that quite a bit. I think in the middle of the 3rd round, I'll take a swing on Warren McClendon as a potential long-term right tackle. Kendre Miller, round 4, number 103, as we sneak into day 3 of the draft, the TCU running back. I am very curious to see, A, how much he does at the combine, because he got tweaked. He tweaked up his knee in the college football playoff against Michigan. And B, if he does, how does he run in the 40? How does he do in the drills? Because in terms of football game speed, he's got pretty damn good speed at 220 pounds. He's physical. He's explosive. He had a run against Texas where it's just an outside zone. He turns the corner and he's gone, and you're like, whoa. He was shot out of a cannon for his size. I like his game as a runner quite a bit. He's got improvements to go in terms of catching the football. I think he only had 16 catches this year. That's not really an area they used him a lot. But in terms of a downhill runner, a guy who can get outside the tackles as well, I think he's a day 1 heavy contributor at running back. And you get someone like that in the 4th round to pair with Khalil Herbert, especially when David Montgomery could leave. I certainly like that quite a bit. Now, fill in the blank for us. The Bears' top 2 running backs in 2023 will be Khalil Herbert and who? Is it going to be David Montgomery? I don't think it's Treston Ebner. He did not show me much at all as a rookie. I think you got to get somebody. I think a guy like Kendre Miller, Chase Brown, who we've taken a lot, one of those type of players could fill that void. A lot of good running backs in this draft. Let me know who that other back will be. Round 4, number 112, it is Wisconsin defensive tackle Keanu Benton, who a lot of you guys are probably familiar with watching Big Ten football. I like this value here in the 4th round. 4.5 sacks. He's about 315 pounds, so he should be able to play either defensive tackle spot in this scheme. I think he's a rotation guy early on with starting potential down the road. Did a little bit of everything for the Badgers. Pretty good run stopper. Has some pass rushing ability, like I said, with the 4.5 sacks. I like that in the 4th round. Olusegun Oluwatimi, the center out of Michigan, who heading into the offseason after they lost to TCU in the CFB, he was like a round 2, round 3 guy for most people, but he did not have a good Senior Bowl week. Got pushed around, did not perform anywhere close to that of John Michael Schmitz, who was probably a 2nd-round guy. But 4th round, I don't know if that's someone you draft and start at center right away, but maybe he competes, or maybe Lucas Patrick is your center for a year and he learns for a season, or competes with the Doug Kramer for a backup role. I think in round 4 it's worth a swing, but he's got a ways to go. He certainly got exposed a little bit out there in Mobile. 3 more players here, round 5, pick number 137. It is Penn State wide receiver Parker Washington, who you guys probably know quite a bit as well, and pretty good college career. Never really took that leap where, like a Jahan Dotson, for example, where he goes out there and has 1,200 yards. But, his freshman year in 2020 in a COVID-shortened year, 500 yards, 6 touchdowns. Then he broke out in 21 with 820 yards. But this year, kind of took a step back, at least statistically. I still like him. I think on day 3, it's pretty good value. How about Riley Moss, the cornerback out of Iowa? And listen, you don't see many white corners, let's just be honest here. But he's a good athlete. He's got good ball skills. I think he can be a special teams contributor right away, and a guy who rotates in the secondary. Round 5, number 159. Bring me Riley Moss to Chicago. I know you Iowa Hawkeyes fans are out there. And then round 7, pick number 220. It is Malik Cunningham, the quarterback out of Louisville. Round 7, there's no bad round 7 picks. Really good athlete, runs the ball really well. His passing numbers, there's good volume there, 62.6%, almost 10,000 yards in his career, 70 touchdowns, 29 interceptions. But the running is what really jumps off, 3,200 yards rushing, 50 career rushing touchdowns. I don't think he's a immediate backup in the NFL, but maybe he's someone you keep on your 53 as a third-string quarterback / occasional gadget guy if you want to, limit Fields running from time to time. I think it's more of a developmental option here. It could be a practice squad stash as well. All right, there you go. Grade today's Bears mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know how we did in the comments below, and we'll go ahead and recap the selections here before we get out of here. If you're thinking, I can't remember them all, well, here you go, and then you can drop a letter grade. These are the first 5 picks. Traded down a couple of times. Got Peter Skoronski at number 11 overall. Zay Flowers, the Boston College wide receiver, at number 38 overall in the second round. Arkansas linebacker Drew Sanders in the second round. Nolan Smith, the Georgia edge rusher, at number 53 overall. And then Miami cornerback Tyreek Stevenson with the 70th overall pick. Georgia right tackle Warren McClendon at number 74 overall. Kendre Miller early in round 4, the TCU running back. Wisconsin defensive tackle Keanu Benton there in round 4, as well as Olu Oluwatimi, the center out of Michigan. And then to wrap up the draft, Penn State wide receiver Parker Washington in round 5. Riley Moss, Iowa cornerback in round 5 as well. And then the 7th round to finish things off, Louisville quarterback Malik Cunningham. And don't forget, we got 3 picks as well in this mock draft, 3 future picks. Pair of 2024 first-round picks from Vegas and Tennessee, and then also a second-round pick from Las Vegas as well. So a lot of volume, a lot of trades, but I think filling a lot of potential needs here for the Chicago Bears. So again, drop a letter grade, A, B, C, D, or F. Hit the sub button, and hey, if you want more mocks, like this video. We'll see you next time.